Welcome to the Audi Performance Zone. Yeah, great to see Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy out there playing together. We're going to put them up together on the swing design sequence here and just compare and contrast some of these techniques, hopefully give you a clearer picture of what you're seeing there. So I would say in the comparison, two pretty slightly built guys, but enormously powerful, incredible at creating speed, but in a slightly different way. Let's take a closer look at that. So first thing in address, you can see there, we kind of got like a sway gap, which is, if you imagine you've got sort of like as a sternum as a top center, maybe belt buckle as a bottom center. We're looking at the alignment of those, and we call that the sway gap. And I'm just going to show you how they move differently. So Rory, obviously, his intention here is definitely hitting a high draw. You can see the shoulder tilt there, creating some sway gap initially. Much more level shoulders, much more stacked kind of chest on top of hips, not so much sway gap. And we're going to see two different ways of motion. So Rory always kind of starts his movement kind of moving into that right side. And as he's starting to build up here, you're going to see him move back to the left much earlier than Justin Thomas. So for Rory, down and left, and then using that enormous pressure up through his left leg to create that force. JT moves into the right side, just kind of stays there much longer. The numbers will reflect that. So we'll just kind of move them up as they keep going here. And we can start to see, fairly similar in terms of the way they've moved there. Rory maintaining his sway gap and JT starting to create it. Let's get them up to the top. So Rory here, interesting to watch him. We'll actually just have a closer look at this. So there's kind of like his maximum movement into, with the pelvis sway there, into that right side. And he starts to move left here. So he is now moving down and left considerably. The sway gap is increasing. And there you can see that high launch, incredible movement there. Of how he's shifted. So he's gone off into his right side and then sort of centering around that right leg. Early movement down and into the left, and then this huge pressure that he gets up through that left side, kind of using that lateral force and vertical force to really create sort of this high sway gap number here for that super high launch. And well, who wouldn't want to drive the ball and bounce it like that? So you can just watch Rory's legs down and then up through that left side, and the reason that left foot is moving there is it's like a landing. He's so vertical into the air, he's landing on that front foot. Amazing, right? JT, slightly different here. You can see a bit more movement into that right side. Obviously Rory's arms much more around him. That's what a drawer does. JT's hands much more vertical, which is what a fader does. Pushing down. And if we watch his left hip here, this is almost going backwards. So very little sway gap. And then almost pushing back. So that left foot is off the ground. Only the right toe. So he comes off his right side much later. Both players create a huge amount of force. So it's just interesting to see. So you've got sort of two different styles there highlighted. Rory, early shifter into that left side and then massive force. JT stays on that right side longer. One's a drawer, one's a fader. Two fantastic guys. You're going to see them out there. They are tied 3 under. I bet that's not as where they finish.